You wake up, you didn't dig a well, didn't chase anything down, didn't carry water for 3 miles under a hot sun. You sat in traffic for 20 minutes, cleared 40 emails you'll forget by tomorrow, and scrolled past 100 faces you'll never actually meet. And somehow by 6 in the evening, your whole body feels like it ran a marathon that never happened. Sit with that gap for a second. Nothing physical really demanded much from you today. So why does it feel like something did? The honest answer isn't about sleep or coffee or your step count. It's about what your brain still quietly believes a day is supposed to cost. Go back far enough, and a full day of survival was mostly physical. Groups like the Hadza in Tanzania, even now, spend real hours walking, digging, tracking, climbing actual muscle, actual sweat, spread across daylight. That kind of tired has a natural endpoint. You sit down, you eat something. The ache fades on its own, and your head clears right along with it. Physical fatigue tells an honest story. You worked, so now you rest. But your brain was never only built to move a body across a landscape. It was built to read a small, dangerous world constantly. Who's nearby? Does that person seem off today? Was that rustle in the grass nothing or something? Can I still trust the guy I traded meat with last week? In small tribal groups, often just a few dozen people, that scanning was manageable. Only so many faces, only so many judgment calls in a day. Now think about your actual Tuesday. Dozens of notifications stacked up before you've even had breakfast. Strangers' opinions landing in your palm uninvited. 100 tiny decisions about who to trust, what to worry about, who to compare yourself to. None of it takes a single muscle. And yet it's running on that same old alarm system, just aimed at a screen now instead of a tree line. Here's the part almost nobody talks about. Your body isn't confused when it hands you that heavy, drained feeling at the end of a lazy day. It's being accurate. It's reporting a full day of watchfulness, just watchfulness spent on a feed instead of a forest. The brain doesn't always cleanly separate real danger from an unread message. Both trip the same old wiring. Both quietly drain the same limited tank. That's why it hits differently than plain boredom. Every small comparison, every flicker of "did that message sound annoyed," every scroll past someone else's highlight reel. Each one pulls from a reserve your ancestors were saving for actual emergencies. Not customer service chats, not group texts about weekend plans. Spend that reserve in 100 tiny withdrawals, and by evening the account is simply empty, even though your legs never left the chair. And that's the mismatch nobody warned us about. Civilization got remarkably good at solving physical danger. No leopard behind your front door. No real chance you'll starve by Friday. That progress is enormous, and it's worth remembering honestly. But it never lowered the number of decisions a mind has to churn through in a day. If anything, it multiplied that number, then slipped it into your pocket so it could follow you everywhere. There was a time when a fire at the center of camp meant the watching could finally stop. You were seen. You were safe. The people around that fire were the same people who'd notice if you didn't show up tomorrow. Now the glow at night comes from a screen instead, and it doesn't say you're safe at all. It says keep watching. One more scroll. No wonder the tiredness never quite resolves the way old-fashioned tiredness used to. There's no fire left to lean back from, only more light asking for more of your attention. None of this is an argument that modern life is worse, so let's not pretend it is. You're not migrating toward water this month. A bad stomach bug isn't quietly going to end you. Those gains are real, and they're huge. But the next time you crash on the couch after a day that wasn't even that busy, it might help to know you're not lazy and you're not weak. You're carrying an old alarm system that's still doing its job faithfully. It's just aimed at the wrong kind of danger now. So maybe rest isn't really the fix. Maybe it's just fewer things asking to be watched, a quieter room for an hour. One less feed pulling at your attention before lunch. Not because people back then had it easy. They didn't. But because they only ever had to watch one fire, not 100 screens all pretending at once to be it. If this kind of hidden thread between old human life and your actual Tuesday interests you, there's more of it here, waiting for whenever you feel like looking closer.